Armored Republic is releasing new shields, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey guys, David here with Armored Republic. I want to talk to you today about our new shields. So I'm just a regular guy. I'm no Special Operator 5000, and the shield is really my one unfair advantage that I have. The obvious benefit of a shield is the coverage area it gives you and the speed of deployment. You can get a shield out way faster than you can get your carrier on. The consideration with shields is the weight. They weigh more. Correct. In a home defense situation, you need this for a couple minutes. We're not going patrolling with the shield on. Fast to deploy, tons of coverage. If you think about a body armor plate, this is the area it's covering, approximately 10 inches by 12 inches. If you have a shield, you're covering way more than just your normal plate. So this is giving me protection almost from my belt line up to my face. The farther it is in front of you, the more it obscures, the closer, the less it obscures. This covers way more of my body than just throwing on armor does, and I can deploy it much faster. We have two models of shields for you guys, the Alpha and the Delta. So let's talk about what each of them does. If you don't know what to get the Delta Medium. That's the F-150 of shields. If you're a little taller or you want the maximum coverage protection, get the Delta Large. If you just want something light and fast, get the Alpha. All of our hardware, unlike some of our competitors, is rated to take the rounds at the stops. This will stop green tip up to 3,100 feet per second. So that's fast, and that's green tip. Has handle, has a strap if you want to use it. You don't have to use it. It holds just fine. Delta Large. Very similar to the Delta Medium, just has more coverage. So if you're a taller guy or you want the maximum coverage, get the Delta Large. Alpha Shield. It's the lightest we have. It's going to be the fastest to deploy, but it's only handgun rated. So this might be a good choice for your vehicle, or if your threat profile is handgun only, maybe for home defense, you're not worried about rifles, then get the Alpha Shield. Shields are in a similar place to where body armor was about 10 or 12 years ago before Armored Republic introduced the $65 plate to civilians. 12 years ago, if you wanted to buy body armor, generally speaking, super expensive. You had to show ID, prove that you were law enforcement or military or something like that. Difficult to get. There were no laws against it. There was just this kind of industry gentleman's agreement that we're gonna make that difficult to get to allow law enforcement, military to have that advantage. That cat's out of the bag. We released a $65 plate 12 years ago. Any other steel body armor manufacturer that you've encountered got that from us. So shields, we believe, are in a similar place now. Try to go find a class that will teach you how to use a shield properly, and it's probably restricted to law enforcement. We don't believe in those restrictions. They're not legal restrictions, they're just gentlemen's agreements. Yeah, we're introducing the shield to the common man. Many of our competitors have already released shields, but they did it in a simple fashion. They're just taking normal body armor plate steel, cutting it out, sticking some bolts in it and a handle and calling it a shield. There's actual R&D, engineering, and design that go into our shields, and we'll get into that more as time goes on. So we've been testing and thinking about shields for a while now. The main thing that you're gonna do theoretically with the shield is you're going to be probably going through your house or coming out of a vehicle, and you're gonna be armed, probably with a handgun. In a stressful environment, you wanna be thinking about as little as possible. So a shield is a large piece of equipment, right? You're probably gonna have a handgun or a rifle. I recommend, if you can, having a dot or a laser on your handgun. It makes things faster and easier, and you have to think about less. You can absolutely still line up your irons, but we want to decrease cognitive load, the amount of things you have to think about. You've got enough problems on your hand if you're deploying a shield and a handgun. A shield is rapid deployment and high coverage. So a plate carrier takes you a few seconds to get on, right? Even with QD. Now, if you're going into combat or you have time to prepare, great, wear your plate carrier. But if all you have is seconds, you're in your house, you hear a bump in the night, shield is a fantastic option. You can't risk getting hit, and you need to be fast. Shield solves that problem for you. Go get your shield today. ar500armor.com.